Was it the Post Office's general strategy, looking at this document, to require sub-postmasters to fully particularise the problems with the Horizon system in their defence? You were placing a burden here on the sub-postmaster of particularising flaws in the Horizon system, weren't you?
What is your client's defence? What are the issues? What are you saying that we did wrong, or what's that's the way I understood it. I mean, it wasn't
at this time. The Post Office hadn't disclosed any audit data or call logs to Mrs. Misra. Correct?
I don't know. I mean,
Take it from me, the Post Office had not disclosed any call logs or audit data to Mrs. Misra. Again, I'm sure your solicitor will say something if I mis-summarise.
No, sorry. No, I take it. Sorry about that. Yes, okay.
It slows us down if every time we have to go...
No. Sorry, of course.
So we're jumping back into Jarnail Singh's testimony to the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry, and they're asking him about Seema Misra's case and about his response to her solicitors saying, well, essentially, we can't give you any audit data because you've not got a defence statement, and I'm worried that'll affect the credibility of your client. So basically, we just want her to explain, and she should be able to do this because she was using it all the time, how exactly Horizon was broken, and then maybe I can look into it for you. What? Let's see how he explains it when we jump into the inquiry.
Can we look at the way that you approach things by using Miss Misra's case as an example and look at poll 305 3746?
Well, we've already seen about how he spoke about her in previous emails, so this will certainly be interesting.
We see this in a letter dated the 11th of January 2010 to Kuma Rich, foot of the page, written by you.
Yeah, that's me.
And then if we scroll up, thank you. You say, I've now reviewed the papers in the above case, particularly your request for disclosure, and comment as follows. We will respond to all reasonable requests and seek material that may undermine the prosecution case and support your client's defence. We understand in general terms that you're seeking to challenge the integrity of the Horizon system. We feel obliged to point out, however, that as you have not served a defence statement which raises any issue whatsoever with the Horizon system, if any apparent errors were occurring in the indictment period, your client should have a good knowledge of what they might be, simply because she would have regularly been checking the stock against the Horizon records.
Wow, so essentially you prove it yourself. No, they've put forward the defence. It's now for you to prove that they are wrong at the Post Office, but, they should know about it if it was happening. What?
We take the view that a detailed defence statement is required in this case, which fully particularises any problems with Horizon upon which your client would seek to rely at trial. The defence statement should obviously make clear what the issues in the case are. At the moment, we do not know whether your client still claims she was hiding thefts by members of staff and to what extent those alleged thefts contributed to the deficiency at the office. We are handicapped in fulfilling our disclosure obligations by the absence of an adequate defence statement. The credibility of your client may also be damaged at trial if no adequate defence statement is served. But was it the Post Office's general strategy, looking at this document, to require sub-postmasters to fully particularise the problems with the Horizon system in their defence?
I can't give you an answer to that, but certainly in this particular case, it's the view we took. Yeah,
Well, why don't you just disclose all the material? I mean, it just seems like they were putting up roadblocks, and that makes you suspect, did they actually know there was problems with Horizon at this point? Because why don't you just hand over the information that you should be able to easily obtain, because you should already have it, to prove your case against her?
The view I took, and I think I took it on the advice of I think it's gone to the Crown Court, hasn't it? Where are we?
By this time it has.
Yeah,
it was in the Crown Court.
In March. And what's the date of this email? Is it sort of...
It's a letter, and I think if we scroll to the top, we'll see it's January 2010.
So earlier in the year. I think there was... I don't know the details of it. From what my recollection is, that it would help us to assist all parties if we knew what the starting point was. And I think the whole idea of a defence statement is exactly that. What is the issues? What is your client saying about the Horizon system or the operation of the apparatus?
You were placing a burden here on the sub-postmaster of particularising flaws in the Horizon system, weren't you?
No.
And to be fair, it's not for them to discover and diagnose your bugs and accurately describe them. The description is Horizon saying that a load of money should be here, and I'm saying that it's wrong.
No, I don't think so. I think my approach, any case I dealt with, is always a corporation working together. And I think, I don't know who, was it Izzy Hogg? I used to have a long conversation with her, and, well, not longest conversations, but one or two longer. Now I said, well, look, we need to, can you help with this? Can you help with that? And I think in turn returned a lot of favours and said to her, look, I can do this, I can do that, and then we can actually agree on certain aspects, so I can start sort of moving or progressing this case forward.
He did her favours. She ended up in prison, man.
So the way this pads out was the defence statement was if they is that not the, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I going back now, I mean, trying to think on it. Is not that the idea of the defence statement is exactly that? What is your client's defence? What are the issues? What are you saying that we did wrong, or what's, that's the way I understood it, and that's where we were with it. I mean, it wasn't
at this time. The Post Office hadn't disclosed any audit data or call logs to Mrs. Misra. Correct?
I don't know. I mean,
I take it from me, the Post Office had not disclosed any call logs or audit data to Mrs. Misra by the 11th.
And if he should know what the defence statement's there for and not there for, he is a solicitor.
Of January 2010.
Yeah.
How was Mrs. Misra to fully particularise the Horizon issues experienced at West Byfleet without at least access to that information?
It's a while ago. I mean, I can only go by what I've read and what the paperwork you sent me. I think there was no ulterior motive in that. I think the only way would be is to try to assist and agree, the starting point more than anything else. I mean, if it was up to me, I would have more or less said, look, from the moment she started work, or even the year before, here's the data, and even the year after. But the thing is, it wasn't as simple as that. And that's probably my mistake in this case, was that I thought it was straightforward. The Post Office would want to provide it, but then they had all sorts of a contract and agreement with a third party. That's where the problem laid. But that here, it wasn't what you were suggesting. I mean, not certainly when I read that email. It was.
What you can't do, though, it is, like you're saying, it's your mistake. What you can't do is say, due to contractual limits and we might have to pay a bit of money, I'm not going to do my job of disclosure and request the data. I mean, of course you could. You, the head of criminal law or the senior lawyer, of course you can go and say, I need this data, otherwise this prosecution can't continue. He's already told us that he's the decision maker on it, so it's dead easy, isn't it? I need this data for this prosecution to proceed. Otherwise, it's not going to proceed. Doesn't get more simple than that.
Really a starting point with a view to progressing it and trying to assist the defence any which way I could.
And I'm not sure how we're identifying what the problems were within Horizon has any bearing on him requesting the audit data, because let's say she sent hundreds and hundreds of pages detailing exactly how she thought Horizon was broken. That still wouldn't change the contractual limits that the Post Office has agreed to with Fujitsu about the costs or the capacity in terms of requesting ARQ data. It wouldn't have changed a thing.
Sorry, it's a long answer. I shouldn't really. So, no, that's not what this is about.
You tell us in your witness statement, it's paragraph 256, that you played a role in obtaining the audit data in the criminal proceedings against Mrs. Misra because it was required by the investigation and security team, okay?
21156.
Again, I'm sure your solicitor will say something if I mis-summarise.
No, sorry. No, I take it. Sorry about that. Yes, okay.
It slows us down if every time we have to go.
No. Sorry, of course.
I'm just summarising so we don't have to get it up on the screen.
No,
you tell us that you played a role in obtaining the audit data in the criminal proceedings against Mrs. Misra because it was required by the investigation and security team, okay?
Yes.